Hey everyone, today's video is going to be about how we actually document testing, and I'm going to use assignment 7 from the Cloud 9 case study. So this is an Australian book and it's fairly easily available. So we're going to use assignment 7, which is about testing internal controls, to learn about the technicalities of how we actually do audit testing. Let's start by looking at our pages. Alright, so we've got a couple of different work papers. This first one here is assignment 7, page 1, that you can see there. And what we're actually going to do is we're going to test internal controls for three different things. The first one is that the invoice matches the dispatch note. The second one is that the customer signature is present to prove that we did have a delivery to a real customer, testing our occurrence assertion. And then that the shipping supervisor has the correct authorization. So that means that the goods that were ordered and the goods that were selected match. So we're going to do those three procedures using tick marks. So tick marks are like shorthand. I'm going to use A for matching the dispatch notes to the invoices, B for the customer signature being present, and C for the shipping supervisor authorization. So you'll see here in the example that 1 to 8 is already filled in. We're going to assume that 9 to 19 have already been done, and then we're doing 20 to 25. Okay, so let's get started. So we need to go to the appendices, and I'm looking for, here we go, Appendix 4 at the back of the book, which is our documentation that we're going to do our testing on. Now, of course, normally as an auditor, you go away and you collect this information yourself. But any information that we do obtain from the client, we do need to number with a work paper reference. So back in our actual assignment, we've got work papers A7-1 and 7-2 and 7-3. So I'm going to just number straight on from there. So I'm going to give this one in the top corner A7-4. Okay. Turn the page, A7-5, A7-6, A7-8, A7-9, and A7-10. Okay, so I've individually numbered each of those pages just in case I need to refer to them. So let's go back, and our very first procedure says, I quickly flick back and I double check, and it says make sure that the invoice matches the dispatch note. So we're lucky here in that our invoices and our dispatch notes are all set together. So it says there, match the quantities and products on the invoices to the dispatch note. If they match, use the tick mark A. Okay, so let's see if we can zoom in a little bit here. Alright, so I'm looking at the first one, code 786541, Heavenly Women's 9, quantity 5. And if I go down to my dispatch note, it's the same product, the same quantity. So I'm going to put A where they match. Alright, do that for my second line item, Heavenly 456 Women 8, size 3 in quantity, the same there. I'm going to use A. Okay, now only use the tick mark where items match, and make sure you do it on both documents. So take a quick pause and go ahead and do that for the rest of the items, and then we'll come back and do test B. Alright, so let's do test B. Test B says that we have the customer signature present. So this is proof that we have a delivery to a real customer. So where there's proof, I'm going to use the B tick mark. You can see that I've put the B as close as possible to the actual item that I'm testing. Don't just put it anywhere out here on the page, because I don't know exactly what that tick mark is referring to. Same reason that we did a tick for each of those line items when there's a signature. Now go away and check whether the signature there is there in all of our circumstances. Okay, so if you went away and you actually did some testing, you'll notice that in A7-8, we have a situation where we have a dispatch note and we've got goods where they match. So I'll quickly put the A tick mark in there. However, there's no signature, so I cannot use the B tick mark. Instead, what I tend to do is I need to draw attention to this. We have a control deviation. So I use a big X in a circle. Let's say, hey, something's wrong here. And then I'm going to write a little explanation. Customer signature missing. Alright, and if somebody looks at this document, I'm actually going to refer them back to the summary page that contains all of the information on the tests, which is actually page A7-1. And I'm going to do that with a cross-reference. Remember, we've done cross-referencing before, A7-1. Alright, now the third test, using this same set of information here, is that the dispatch note has the supervisor's authorization. And we can see there that there is a yes, so I'm going to use C there as my code that the that the dispatch of the goods has been properly authorized. So that's all there is to control testing. Usually you'll get your tick marks. Put your tick mark as close as possible to the item that you're testing. If a tick mark, don't use a tick mark where something is missing. So here in this example where we've got an error, we've got a deviation. I put a big X. You could highlight it if you wish. And then for C, we've got the correct code there, so there is no problem with that one moving forward.